I will share it also with you all. And then we'll also enable us to emphasize the goal of surrendering to Krishna and why Krishna, whether we accept Krishna as a supreme God or is someone like another God, or is someone else maybe a little superior than us, but what is it that, how do we surrender? And the entire Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter in interview, not the whole chapter as such. Okay, chapter's conclusion on this is summary of karma and jnana, three modes of material nature. We actually touched upon it. What this means an ideal worker, how do we learn the art of loving the Godhead, and what is the takeaway, what is the end result when we get to the complete 18 chapters. Okay, so now we will touch upon this. Before that, I just wanted to have a quick recap to the chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, let me just quickly. Okay, so we started this. I'm going to touch upon only these chapter headers, that's all. First chapter was observing the armies of the battlefield of Kurukshetra. We saw that Krishna and Arjuna were in the center of the battlefield. Arjuna was very dispersed. He had a very fickle mind. He was not able to take a very positive call. He was not able to know what is good to what is right. And he was inquiring, how do I manage to overcome these kind of inabilities? Second chapter, Gita is completely summarized for the entire 18 chapters. So contents of the Gita summarized. In which
Prabhu, sorry to interrupt. It's quite fuzzy again. Is that just me or?
What is fuzzy? You're not able to see my screen?
The image is fuzzy.
Let me
Anyone else finding that or just me?
Let us see that.
I could read it. I can read it.
Yeah, I can read it as well, Prabhu.
Can you read? Is it okay?
For me, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine for me. Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, please open vedabase.io.
Yes, I will send the link, Prabhu. I will
yes,
add
please.
the link.
Thank you. Or if you want, I will send it in the chat box. Someone can do that.
Thanks, Prabhu.
Okay, so Gita, on the second chapter, Krishna was actually trying to inspire Arjuna that he needs to take up the act of being not a renunciant but a real warrior. So, but Krishna, even though after giving a lot of details to Arjuna, Arjuna was not ready. He was having such a miserly feeling that he was saying that my bow is not ready to stand. I am very tired. I'm feeling very dizzy. My feelings are very low at this moment, but I need to know a lot of information because my family members are just in front of me. So I don't want to go into a war where it's going to be a loss and win situation. But I want a win-win situation for which I don't want a war. I'm happy to go as a renunciant to any forest or do some kind of a meditation. So then coming back to this, Krishna is being asked to detail further beyond the second chapter, because second chapter itself is complete in itself, which covers all the 18 chapters. But Arjuna requests Krishna to explain much deeper in detail each of the important aspects of what it means on each level. So Krishna starts with Karma Yoga, as we suggested that there are three sections. Every 6 chapters has one section. That category is based on Karma, Bhakti, and Jnana. So we are in the 18th chapter. It's a Jnana Yoga. So we are looking at the third chapter, which is of Karma Yoga. So Krishna explains what is Karma Yoga. Then he moves on to the transcendental knowledge of how we can connect with the supreme absolute truth and how we can take the guidance from the spiritual master, how this spiritual science has evolved, how did it come, when was the first time he spoke, to whom, and what was the output of it, and why did he choose now to speak to Arjuna, and we read about it in the fourth chapter. In the fifth chapter, Krishna again explains that it's good that you know about Karma Yoga, but now you need to act in the platform of Krishna consciousness. Then we know what is truth, what is absolute truth, and what is something which you get bewildered with. So then we learned a little bit about the different aspects of truth, aspects of Karma Yoga. One is Karma Yoga, or rather Karma. Another one is Vikarma. Another one is Akarma. And we also know that which one to choose so that we don't get entangled. Next, we came into the Dhyana meditation. Why we should do meditation? What is the reason behind the meditation concepts which Krishna enabled it to Arjuna? If not, what would happen? And if he does that meditation, how beneficial for him is. Next comes the knowledge of the absolute. The knowledge of the absolute is very important for all of us, and also for Arjuna. He wants to know that what is it this knowledge of absolute means, the importance of the significance of that knowledge. What kind of knowledge is it? Even though we touched upon transcendental knowledge in the 4th chapter, the 7th chapter speaks much more detail about it. I wanted to just touch upon the first verse, which speaks about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Said, now, here, O Prita, how by practicing yoga in full conscious of me, with my mind attached to me, with your mind attached to me, you can know me in complete, full, and free from all doubts. The last verse of this is very, very important. He says, those in full consciousness of me, who knows me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of the material manifestation of the demigods and of all methods of sacrifice, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of God, even at the point of death. So this is what Krishna wants to prove a point. So he started informing about the 7th chapter, and then we go to the 8th chapter, which is attaining the Supreme. The first shloka is Arjuna Vacha, Kim Ta Brahma, Kim Adhyatma, Kim Karma Purushottama, Adi Bhutancha, Kim Praktama, Adi Devam, Kim Uchate. Krishna is explaining a very important subject matter of what is Brahman. So this is a question from Arjuna to Krishna. So he's asking, what is Brahman? What is my position? Where am I connected to? How will I leave this body? What if I leave the body? What will happen to me? In what kind of consciousness it will happen? And then what happens if someone chants Hare Krishna? Will they get the benefits of all this? That's the last verse. Vedesha tapasya chaiva. One second. Let me take you there so that you know. This is the last verse, which is very important of that. Vedesha Agnesha tapasya chaiva nanesha yat punya palam pratishna atyeti tat sarvamedam viditva yogi paramastano upeti chadyam. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of any the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing as much as you have philosophical and fruity activities, and simply by performing the devotional service, one attains every single thing of what you can think of and contemplate. And the end of that, he is ready to reach the supreme eternal abode, which is Goloka Vrindavan. So this is what is in the 8th chapter. 9th chapter is a very special chapter. We are talking about the most confidential knowledge. We touched upon 3 knowledges. One is the transcendental knowledge. The other one is the knowledge of the supreme absolute truth. And the third one is the most confident knowledge, which is Radha Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram Idam Uttamam. You know what it is. I am not this body, I am a spirit soul. That detail is being completely given to us at the 9th chapter. Then we come to the next, which is the 10th opulence of the absolute. Opulence is in very much different flavors. Krishna is showing only a glimpse of all his opulences. And next, he takes us to the 11th chapter, which is the universal form, Virata Rupa. He explains, he explains that very vividly and elaboratedly, and he shows why he is showing this, the universal form, the Virata Rupa, so that Krishna also knows that he has proved a point, and to everyone he has made it sure that they all really realize who his constitutional position is, and no one can question him or no one can dictate him that he is faulty. He gave an opportunity to many people, and this is what he said. Okay, so that is where we are in the 11th chapter. From there onwards, the 12th chapter is devotional, and completely we know that what are the devotional aspects which we need to practice. Just like how Prahlad Maharaj explained that Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, the 9 process of bhakti, and we can adapt to anything of this. But whichever we are practicing, it is always going to be absolute in this. So Krishna says in the last verse that those who follow this imperishable path of devotion service and who completely engage themselves with the faith, making sure the supreme goal is the Supreme Lord himself, are very, very dear to me. Right? This is what we touched upon the chapter number 12, which is the devotional service. Then we came upon the element of nature, enjoy, and consciousness. Then we noticed that the different natures and the kind of modes of material natures and the kind of fields which we are this body is a field, and we know who is the knower, doer of that, and who is the complete knower of different bodies and the variances. Then we came to the modes, the 3 modes of material nature, which is goodness, passion, and ignorance. So then we know also in these three modes how people are acting, reacting to situations. So then we moved on to that 15th, which is important, the Yoga of the Supreme. After going through all these 13 to 14 chapters, Krishna is giving that I have a yoga on myself, and how do I present it to you so that you practice? How will you overcome these three modes? What is the importance of that? So he explains that. And after that, there is 16th, which is the divine and demonic qualities of nature. So there are two set of people. The people who have divine qualities, they have the demonic qualities. Both of them have their own set of do's and don'ts, and how they can progress in their path of success. But unfortunately, the divine people always will be in the upper hand, but the demonic people are not. So we know that they need to improve upon their status, all based on the consciousness, of course. That is explained there. Then finally we came to the division of faith. The division of faith is actually very, very clearly demarcated based on the three modes of material nature. Krishna explains that how you can be in the faith of goodness. You have a set of activities. You will be very rich, very stronger in your practice, and in the passion you will be little fickle about it, and ignorance, you are far away from it. So that explains the complete 17 chapters 1 to 17. Now we come to the 18th chapter, which is the conclusions of the entire 18 chapters, is the perfection of renunciation. So now I'll stop this share. I'll have to reshare this page so that you don't miss out something. Okay, so now we are in this page. So Arjuna's doubt was explained in 18th chapter, first and second verse. After explaining all these things, Arjuna is now is not completely surrendered kind of thing. So that he's got last minute doubts, just like we are last minute.coms. We don't want to do anything on the upfront. We are also very specialist. We are all subject matter expertise in what? Yuddha Kala Shastra Abhyasa. We know tomorrow is a war, and we'll try to figure out what are the weapons and which are the weapons, how to hold it. So in the same way, Arjuna is asking a question now. After 17 chapters of complete detailing by the Lord, Arjuna is asking, Sannyasa, what does sannyasa mean to me? You are asking about renunciation. Why should I renunciate? Why should I be a renunciant? I am a grihastha. I am a householder. What kind of renunciation should I do? Second is, he is also talking about tyaga, means giving up the results of the activities. What should I do in order to relinquish whatever I have acquired? I've worked hard for it. You are asking me to leave all these things. How is it possible? That's not what I wanted. There must be something wrong in this process. I feel that there is something you need to let me know. What should I give up? What should I give up as a result of the activities I perform? So Krishna's doubt, Arjuna is going, Arjuna's doubt, Krishna is going to clear it. How to perform these activities? Krishna says, this is a very important subject. Nishchitam matam uttamam. The last line is extremely important. What he means is, all these activities should be performed without attachment or expectation of any result. They should be performed as a matter of duty. Oh, son of Pritha, that is my final opinion. So Krishna is very clear about it. At every given point of time, he gives his opinion, right? Mata, wherever there is mata, the word mata comes, that means you can accept that it is the Lord's opinion, and that's what he wants to simply accept it as a fact, and he wants others to accept it as also a fact. So here Krishna is once again reiterating that he should perform all the activities which is being thrown on him, but without any attachment to the activities, nor expecting an output of a result towards him as whether it's favorable or unfavorable. But he should simply work and perform as a matter of duty. So that is what Krishna wants Arjuna to do. So no, there are 5 factors of actions. We know that from the law that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, right? So there is a 5 factor for an action. Let us go and understand what are these actions, which are the actions which are more directly performed. In order to have any action happening in the world, right, you need a body, you need a performer who is going to do some kind of an action, you need some kind of a senses because it needs to be attracted. Only then the performer can actually focus to get that inspired for him to act, right? The fourth one is there must be some kind of an effort. endeavor from the living entity. We are talking about all living entities. Okay, so we are talking about a living entity having a body which is going to be a plane of action or the field of action, and that personality is also known as the performer, and he's going to perform for what? To get some kind of a sense objects or sense perceptionary self aggrandization or self indulgence, you can say. And but for all these things he can't simply sit in one place, but he needs to start something as a starter, which is what his endeavor is. Out of all these things, the most important is the super soul. Why? Because the super soul has to actually give the sanction or the permission to get that whatever actions which the person is performing gets to some kind of a result. It should not be a tie. It should, what they want is, he wants ensuring that the Supreme Lord's enablement is there, so the performer gets something good or bad. For that, there are 5 factors which is actually demarcating that. So what do we learn from this is, we generally feel that if I'm not in number 1 position, then there is something which you feel low. There are a lot of fights in this world in terms of rat race is concerned, but factually we are not even 1/5 of that's only the segment of a soul. So we had come to the understanding that how a soul is designed, 1/10,000 tip of the hair, and how it is designed. So that's why it's mentioned here. So we always want to achieve ourselves to be the best of all, but with all our achievements we are very proud. Sometimes we are very depressed because our failures are also there in picture. There is always both ways. One is achievement and always failures. In this failures is what it actually impacts many times the people, because no one wants to be a loser. But nevertheless, that is not that it's a straightforward stuff that whatever you do, you always gain to be the winner. You also have to lose some things, and that's the law of this world. So in order to do so, Krishna is enabling us. Definitely, if we are with Krishna, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Tatra Partha Dhanurdhara. Wherever Krishna is there, wherever Arjuna is there, then we don't have to honestly work out to be on a sad front. We are always going to be in the happy front, because it's always a win situation. So we need to be very conscious about it. If we have that in mind, then we don't have to be worried about anything. For us, both the achievements and failures are on the same platform. There is no differentiation. We are going to the another segment. We also touched upon the 3 modes of material nature. So here, the material nature is actually enabling us to do a few set of actions. One is to gather knowledge. Another one is to act on the knowledge what we have gathered. Then the performer of that action, right? Performer is, it's we, and we need to act on something. So if we act on something, then there is some kind of happiness which will derive, and some kind of understanding we will know how the situation occurs, and we can manage the show. If you don't manage the show, you can see here practically the 3 modes of the material nature on top. They are the puppeteers. So they are holding us in these 3 modes. We are trying to get the knowledge about how these 3 modes work. If you know how the 3 modes work, now you can actually implement your actions. When you implement the actions, you become the performer of that action. When you become the performer of action, you also know that there are some pros and cons. So you understand the situation very well. Now, after understanding the situation very well, you know what I need to do in order to be a winning team. So you know that. So you keep that in mind. But even if you are at the losing end, you would not bother, because you have a strong determination to overcome that losing situation. So you would be happy when you begin to get to the happiness of winning the situation, in spite of you may go towards the losing situation. So this is naturally the process of every action. There are 5 actions which we discussed: knowledge, action, performer, understanding, determination, and we gain the happiness. But this is a natural evolution. We all go through this process. It's not something new Krishna is trying to tell. It is the same thing explained in different method from the previous chapters. Okay, now we can actually see this. If you are in the mode of goodness, what happens? One person's characteristic is uninhibited spiritual Nature is seen in all living entities. He sees everyone in the same distributed place. They don't bother about all these things. Why? Because we are seeing ourselves as spiritual entities, spiritual beings, or spiritual souls. So then we will not be in the position of differentiating between two living entities. But if you are in passion, right, based on the knowledge what you have acquired, you will actually have an impact. In every different body, there's a different type of living entity. Like, for example, how the Christians feel that there is no living entity or a soul associated with the lower forms of life, which is something like a more passionate feeling. Even though they know that there is some kind of a living entity, but they don't want to accept it. But in ignorant situations, one is attached to one kind of work, even though you know you have some kind of a knowledge, but it's a very ignorant knowledge. One is attached to one kind of work as and all whenever you do something. That means to say that if I'm doing some work, let's say you can see the last picture, that this person is completely absorbed himself in this computer work, what he is doing. And without the knowledge of the truth, and which is very, very low in its understanding, this person he is ignorant and he thinks that this computer job is the one which is actually feeding him. So here the bottom line is the 9th chapter, first verse. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Paitram Idam Uttamam. If anyone knows about it, that we are the living entities as equal to a spirit soul, and we are not this body, then automatically we will move to the mode of goodness. That's how you acquire the quality of of knowledge. So here, how do you get the happiness element if you are in a mode of goodness? Well, Prabhupada explains this in very different flavors. That is a beautiful story also. How we dangle between the happiness and the sad or a distress situation. So, but however, in a mode of goodness, a person always knows that even though at the beginning it might be very feeling of very poison or very feeling of pain, but at the end it is like nectar. It also awakens one's self-realization, because, like, for example, we are forced to get up for Mangalarti, even though it is a big pain. Who wants to get up in the morning at 4 o'clock? Oh, that's too much. Okay, you get up at morning one time, you can probably do at 4 o'clock, second time, third time, okay, and the fourth time, and we are talking about lifetime of getting up at 4:30. That's not going to happen so easily. So then you will feel that, oh, this is too much of pain, I'm not going to take it. That's not what spiritual life is all about. I thought that that's all about eating and relaxing yourself, but here there are people are asking us to get up in the morning and then sit and chant and hear to Mangalarti and many things. So I am not very happy for that. That kind of attitude is wrong. If we need someone to come to the level of understanding that we are this spirit soul, we are not this body, then you definitely need to be ready to accept pain in the start, which will become nectar in the last. So that makes you happiness in the mode of goodness. But what will be in the happiness of in the passion? Whatever activity you derived, basically in touch with the sense objects, right? It's basically for your senses. You're not going to be bothered about You're not going to be bothered about what is going to come to me, but your eyes, your nose, your tongue, your ears, every sense objects are going to take you to the same place where it is going to give you some kind of an absorption for all these kind of things. So which you will feel very happy in the start. It's like it's amazing feeling, wow, amazing feeling at the start, but the same amazing feeling will end up in the very painful situation in the last. Like example Prabhupada gives is that, just like if you have a child with you, let's say you have a child, the child is so happy, you are very happy in the start and all that. But the same child, because your attachment is so strong in the mode of passion, it may probably become a very, very impending situation for you later on in your life. You will feel a pain when the child rebels against you, rebels against your words, and that will make you feel very depressed, because you have invested so much of time and energy and love and care on this particular child, and thinking that the child is yours eternally. But again, at one point of time, the child starts to understand that I'm not going to sit in this house. I need to make, for me, it's the individual independence I needed. I need to move out of this place. I don't want to be a part of it. So the same child is going to put a lot of effort onto you. It will make you feel that, oh, Krishna, what is this? This is the person who is asking me to stay on the same lines. That's not going to happen. I'm going out of the house. That impact is going to be very heavy. So that is why, even though it's a start, it's very happiness, but at the end, it will become very painful and distress. So that's in the mode of passion. But in ignorance, forget about anything. They can't understand self-realization. They don't understand the spirit soul. They simply are in some kind of hallucination all the time. Whatever you tell it to them, it will be a overhead projection. They will not understand it. And this basically understanding itself rises from illusion, laziness, and sleep all the time. So what do you expect from them? They are in a mode of ignorance. So there is nothing we can bother about or understand it. So we can just leave them away. So in conclusion of these three modes, the Lord says there is no being existence either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems which is free from all these three modes of material nature, born out of material nature. Right? A Brahma Bhurna Loka Punaravartana Arjuna Mamupeti Kauntaya Punarjanmana Vidyate. There is no other way by which you can escape, including Lord Brahma, who is situated in the Satya Loka, which is again inside this material cosmos. So that means that even he has to punaravartita Arjuna mamupeti kauntaya punarjanmana vidyate. But Krishna is saying that if you come back to my abode, you don't have to come back here again. But whereas Brahma, as soon as he completes his court of goodness, he needs to come to passion, he needs to come to ignorance. So that is why, unless until he is a devotee of the Supreme Lord, then he can escape from there and go back. But otherwise, he has to come back here. There is no other choice. So Krishna is explaining very clearly to Arjuna that please make note. What starts as a pain in the start is a nectar at the last. What starts as a nectar in the first, but is going to go as a pain in the last. So this is the fact that no one can escape these three modes of material nature in the entire material realm. But whereas Krishna, even though he was here, he is above these three modes, as explained by Lord Shiva to Parvati. Says Narayana Parodvektat. He doesn't belong to this world. Okay. So how do we handle this situation that, okay, there is modes of material nature which is toggling between us. It is also showing us that importance that what we need to do, whether are we doing it in the right frame or we are missing out somewhere. But Krishna is explaining much, much further because this is a chapter of renunciation. How do I deal my day in and day out work? Should I take it to my heart or should I just, at the end of the day, just relinquish and then keep it going, which is not easy. Because let us say, most of the times we don't even know about it or we don't even think about it because familiarity is breeding contempt. Because we are thinking about day in and day out as if we are going to live here for eternity. That is why we saw the person who is sitting with the computer eyes all the time. He's thinking that he's going to build a castle here and he's going to live forever. But that's not what Krishna wants us to know. Krishna wants us to know that this is Dukkhalayam and Asashvatam. He doesn't want us to make a complete practice that he wants us to be here forever and eternity. No, Krishna says this is temporary place. So in the same way, how do you understand the perfection of work, what you do? By worshipping the Supreme Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading. A man can attain perfection to perform his own work. How does he work? He should work in such a manner that he should not get entangled with the work, but he should simply dedicate that work in the service of the Lord. Whatever work he is performing, he should simply say, oh Lord, by your grace, I could do something today, and please accept this as my results of the work, whether it's good, bad, ugly. So nothing hands on him. He is in akarma state. Otherwise, he can probably become a vikarma or he can be in a karma. Like recently, one of the devotees actually had an interview and he passed through the interview. Then this devotee found out that the interview which they did for is for a gaming company, for a casino. So this devotee was so strong, he said that you give me more than, he was almost like he's getting around 75,000 pounds or 80,000 pounds for the job. He said, no, I don't want to take this job because it's not ethical for me. I leave it. That is perfection of work. Because he knows Krishna is in the heart, Krishna is guiding him in the right place, that even though it might have impacted his life, but he is ready to relinquish that. because he is accepting that the perfection of life is to serve the Supreme Lord at the best of our abilities. Okay, who can understand the Supreme Lord? Tamam abhijanati yavan echasasmi tattvataha tatomam tattvato gyatva vishate tadanantaram. Who can understand the Supreme Lord? One can understand the Supreme Lord as I am, as the Supreme Lord himself, only by devotion service. That's period. There is nothing called karma. And when one is in full conscious of me, by such devotion, he can enter the supreme abode, the kingdom of God. So it can only be understood, relinquished, and realized, not relinquished, realized that when he serves the Supreme Lord with love and devotion in devotion service, with full consciousness of serving the Lord, then he realizes him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is a practice which we need to come into. So this is explained in the 18th chapter, 55th verse. But how do you put that in practice on a daily basis? Krishna is explaining this. Machita satatam bhava. Use buddhi yogam. Dadami buddhi yogantam enamam upayantite. Krishna says in the 10th chapter, in all activities, just completely depend on me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. You are sure to that you are not in kind of an impediment at any point of time. You are completely covered. You are in a very, very matpara state. Matpara means not in this realm. It's beyond this realm. Matparaha means in the spiritual realm. You are in the conscious of that spiritual realm. Then with such devotional service and attitude, with full conscious of the Supreme Lord, all activities will be smoothly sailing. We can practically think when you chant Hare Krishna in the morning, before you even start your job, you can be very sure that the whole day it is a smooth sail. But when you don't chant your rounds, and if you are in a position to go to the office and sit in front of the computer, unnecessary bombardment will start from your own manager. Yesterday you would have said you are a star, you did a great job, you are bound to get a super hike and all that. And today morning the same person will come and say that you did a useless job. And you'll be wondering, oh my God, what is this guy saying? Yesterday he glorified me, today I'm getting blasted. That blasting comes only when you are not ready to accept the Supreme Lord's abode, but you are accepting material energy. We should always think that there is only two ways of practice. One is worshipping Krishna and serving Krishna, or one is worshipping the material energy and serving the material energy. It cannot be like you have both options ready for you. You cannot do that. You have to be only serving either Krishna or either material energy. Absence of Krishna is material energy. So to think of Krishna, what is the difficulty? Prabhupada says, we have got everything. We have thinking power. Our mind is never vacant. We are always thinking of something. We think of something always 24 hours. That is mind's nature. So if you simply think of Krishna, then your life becomes successful. Srila Prabhupada's lecture in New Mayapur, France. So Prabhupada explains this, but again, it's not that easy for us. Even though we leave the mind for a few minutes, becomes a devil's workshop. That is why we don't allow the empty mind at all at any point of time. Always connected with Krishna, completely 24 hours. We need to always think about what I can do for serving Krishna. Let me read Bhagavad Gita, let me read Bhagavatam, let me chant a few rounds, let me associate with devotees, let me take prasadam, let me go to a place of divinity. This is the holy place. I need to go and take association because the holy place has its own spiritual energy. It's going to inspire you to become more stronger in your spiritual practice. Because we are in the material world, we are in England. England is not a spiritual place. England is a very materialistic place. It's a fact. Unfortunately, we are far away from the spiritual hub. So we need to go to those places. We need to be with those devotees, those who bring that spiritual knowledge, spiritual energy with them to the places of this kind of very materialistic places. Prabhupada was asked this question, what do you think about English culture? Prabhupada said, it's a joke. And the second time Prabhupada was asked this question, how do you refer to hell? So Prabhupada said, you are in this place called hell. I mean, what do you mean? Prabhupada said, you are in London, right? London is hell. This is how it is. Damp weather, cloudy, not even able to think about anything very clearly. Most of the time you are in some kind of a distress. Many things happen there. So Prabhupada was explaining with a very caustic situation. So, but nevertheless, Krishna has given us a chance for us to meditate on the Supreme Lord himself. So we need to observe ourselves with that. Okay, there is more confidential knowledge coming from the 9th chapter to here. Ishwaraha sarvabhutanam vriddeshu Arjuna tishtati brahmyam sarvabhutani yantra rudani mayaya. This is a fundamentally powerful statement. We are all like machines, so made of material energies. The Supreme Lord is seated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wandering of all the living entities who seated on as a machine made of material energy. Yantra Rudani Maya. Everything is run by the dictation of the material energy. We are not the controller of the situation. We are actually getting blasted left, right, and center. But if you take shelter of Krishna, the concept of blast doesn't exist there, because you automatically become transcendental. You start serving the Supreme Lord, you will be connected to the Supreme Lord all the time. But when you are suddenly deciding to go away from the Supreme Lord service, that is, you are practicing devotional service and suddenly you leave it, right? You feel like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. I think this is very obnoxious or something like that. And you just walk off, right? You're back to the pool again. So then automatically Maya is going to get on your case to get you purified in different aspects. So this is saying we are always, as devotees, should take shelter of the Supreme Lord at all times, 24 hours, 365 days. So then we are at the very, very safe end. We don't have to worry at all. So that's the power of the Supreme Lord's presence, which makes you always in a win-win situation. But whereas the alternatively, O sign of Bharata, surrendering unto me utterly, by his grace, you will attain the transcendental peace and supreme eternal abode. If not, you would not go anywhere except that stay where you are. So that is why Krishna is explaining that this is very, very confidential knowledge, that the Lord is actually dictating seated in the heart, but you should understand that even your body is nothing but a machinery tool guided by the material nature. Okay. After all this explanation, Krishna says, I am done, man. I can't do anything more. I am tired. No, I am tired. Krishna says, I am tired. I'm done with it. I'm done and dusted. You do what you want. Do what you wish to do. I don't have anything more to say. I have completed every single information which I need to and want to give it to you. You choose what you want now, whether you want to become stronger, stand on your legs and start with your Gandiva and start the warfare. Otherwise, you tell me, I will sign off. I'll take the next calling stop and get going. So Arjuna immediately gets up and he says, Oh Lord, you are extraordinarily very merciful to me. You would not be so kind enough to me to give me all these knowledges which I can never even contemplate of. I am indebted to you. Yatte ichchisi tata kuru. Whatever you wanted me to say, I have told. That's what Krishna is telling Arjuna. Now, after that is being told, Arjuna just simply falls at the Lord's feet. Everyone in the warfare just gets bewildered. He says, something wrong is happening. Arjuna is falling at the feet of Krishna. There must be something wrong. There must be something wrong. So there must be something wrong. What is wrong? There is nothing wrong. Arjuna has realized. Immediately he says, Karishye Vachanam Tava. Oh Lord, please dictate me left, right, and center. Whatever you wanted to tell me, just tell me. I will hit every single person who is coming in front of you. My job and duty is to simply just abide by your wishes and by your statements. So, because Krishna says, because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you this most supreme instruction, the most confidential of all knowledge. So it is not just for your benefit alone, it's for the entire benefit of the entire globe, entire world. So Krishna says, again in the 18th chapter, Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyajimam Namaskuru Mame Vesharsi Satyam Te Pratijane Priyosime. The same verse comes in 9th chapter also. Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vesharsi Satyam Te Pratijane Priyosime is here. So that is a slightly different statement, but both remains the same. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homages unto me. Thus, you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Then Krishna says finally, okay, I have explained you all these things. You are ready to accept this. But finally, if you want to really be relinquished of all these things, you are in a sinful composition, simply accept this. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja hantam sarva papibhyo mokshashyami masachaha asamsheha nasamsheha masachaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all these sinful reactions. Do not fear. What are these sinful reactions? Because he is expecting that if I fight against my own people, I'm going to carry a lot of sin for sure, because I'm going to kill every single person who is coming in front. So what do I do? How do I handle the situation? I can't manage it. So then Krishna had to promise him that if you just simply abandon all thoughts, different thoughts about different religions or practices, and simply surrender unto me, automatically the Lord is ready to deliver us from the sinful reactions of what we are attempting to do. So Krishna is giving that presence and promises, saying that do not have any level of fear. I am there to protect you. Just follow me. Now, the final instruction Krishna says is this. Why? Because this is the most appropriate statement and instruction for every living entity, because every living entity is going through some kind of turmoil. It thinks that he is the doer, it thinks that he wants to be the achiever, he wants to be everything in the entire cosmos, he wants to be the center of attraction. Everywhere we are getting bombarded left, right, and center. So the Supreme Lord is saying that no, this is not the way you work out. Just simply follow what I've said. Simply by following that, you will be safely guarded from all the sinful reactions which are supposed to get enabled because of your wrong followings. So that's why Krishna, with great stress, he says, do not fear. This fear is one of the personification for us when we are in the mode of ignorance and passion, because we feel that this fear and this fear, anger, all these things are the ones actually it's pulling us down to a very low level of confidence. So we are not sure about the situation, right? It's it's an unknown territory in every level. That's why fear exists. So, but Krishna is saying, do not fear. Just take it as it goes, and I am protecting you. Simply serve and surrender me. Practice in devotion service. Simply serve me. That's enough. I'll take care of you in all aspects. So that's what we all understand how Srimad Bhagavad Gita is presented. Now we come to something called Phalashruti. Phalashruti means generally in the Vedas, if we do any book reading, there is something which is something called a return on investment. So we take away something as a part of our reading of a particular subject matter. So what if someone reads Bhagavad Gita, and how do you get that? What do they get that? For one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotion service is guaranteed. At the end, he will come back to me. Krishna is saying all these things. So then he also says, there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, or will there ever be one more dearer. Why? Because Krishna is really loving his devotees. He likes every one of them. He is really sold out. He is ready to be simply sold out to his devotees. So Krishna is saying, and he declares that who studies this sacred conversation of Bhagavad Gita between Arjuna and himself, he is actually worshipping me with this greater intelligence. And one who listens with faith and without any enviousness becomes free from all sinful reactions and attain this auspicious planets where the pious dwell. Satyaloka, much more higher than that. The supreme abode, of course. So these are all called Palashrutis. Now, we have inspired ourselves to be a part of this journey where we have read Bhagavad Gita. We know that we have gained a little bit of knowledge, at least not that completely knowledge, and we have become more connected with the Supreme Lord, right? Krishna is again saying to Arjuna that, have you heard this with attentive mind? And are you ignorant, or are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled? So what does Arjuna state in the beginning was? Arjuna's state in the beginning was that having thus spoken, he was ready to cast everything and anything. He just throwed his Shanka, he throwed his Gandiva. He said, I don't have any energy to think about anything. I'm just very bewildered. My hands, my legs, body, everything is quivering. My hairs are standing in the corner. It's not me. I don't know what to do. So then from there, after Bhagavad Gita was spoken, he says this, Karishye Vachanam Tava. My dear Arjuna, my dear Krishna, oh infallible one, my illusion is now simply gone. I can't even know that it's gone. I have regained my energy by your grace, by your mercy. Now I am firm and free from all kinds of doubts, and I am prepared to act according to your instructions. This is very important. Someone who is accepting instructions from someone else means they must be convinced. Krishna is ready to do any level of explanation, even one more time, two more time, three more time of Bhagavad Gita explanation to Arjuna. But Arjuna is now saying that even the first time he says that, I am done. I have completely understood the message, what you have given me. I'm very, very indebted. I'm showing appreciation and gratitude to that. By your causeless grace, I have regained what my memory was. I was disturbed. Now I am very clean and clear. I have no doubts. I am ready to act simply according to your instructions. Please just let me know what I need to do. This is what is actually impacting the entire world. It became a real topsy-turvy. What happens? Sanjaya starts to tell it to Dhritarashtra. After hearing all this, what did he start with? Bhagavad Gita started with Dhritarashtra Vacha Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samveda Yudsaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kim Makurvata Sanjaya. Right? Dhritarashtra started with this. And what did Sanjaya say now? Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Tatra Partho Dhanurdhara Tatra Shir Vijay Bhutir Tuva Niti Matir Mama. Wherever there is the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there is definitely going to be super opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Sanjaya starts saying that this is what I have realized from the blessings of my spiritual master Veda Vyasa. I don't have anything else to say to you, Dhritarashtra. You might be my king, but it is my duty to inform you that Arjuna is up and running now. I don't have anything to say. He is ready for the war, and he has holded his battle call, and he has holded the Gandiva in his hands, and he is now falling at the feet of Krishna, and he is now ready to fire his weapons. And this is what you need to understand, that you are thinking your children are going to be the winner, because even though you are asking the first question as Dharma Kshetra Kurukshetra, but nevertheless, the fact is Arjuna is up and running. So wherever Krishna and Arjuna is going to be there is always going to be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. You cannot stop it, you cannot question it, because they are the most primeval living entities in the entire cosmic manifestation as Nara Narayana Rishis. And this is what he wants to say to Dhritarashtra. Finally, we come to the life lessons. All we have to do is to be always in the service of Krishna and Arjuna, all through their sacred or conversation, and be a part of it. See, if we have so many zeros, but what's the point if there is no one? So where should we put the one, in the first or the last?
First.
Why do you have to put in the first? What will happen if you put in the first?
If you put it in the first, it will become, I don't know, it's too long. But if you put it in the last, it's just one.
Yeah, that's the smartness. Because we know we are a part of Krishna's and Arjuna's team, so we always would want to put that one in the front. That one represents us. We want to be a part of the Supreme Lord, right? So the Supreme Lord is here, and we become very, very humble, very, very appreciative, very, very showing the gratitude to the Lord that He has given this knowledge to us. So please add Krishna to your life and make your life a perfect personality. This is what Krishna is looking for. When we complete all these things, Krishna is just waiting for us to hug us and take us back to the garden. So now, how do I achieve this? It's only by chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. Here is a very straightforward stress. The second kind of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami is trying to tell us a very important thing. O King, if one spontaneously attached to the chanting of the holy name of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it is to be understood that he has attained the highest perfectional stage. There is nothing beyond that. So now, what to do? Practical application of how we can do Bhagavad Gita as it is. As a family, Krishna and Arjuna both were not householders. They are not sannyasis. What are they? They are warriors. But what are they? They are honestly family members. They are part of householders. They are not sannyasis to leave everything and relinquish. They were spiritual masters to the world. Krishna Mande Jagat Guru. Krishna is the supreme spiritual master, and he is the greatest teacher. And he taught Arjuna. Both of them are householders, but they have done the job much higher than what the sannyasi would do. So, but factually speaking, they are bringing the entire family into our own life. So, this is what we should do. Can we practice this beautiful Bhakti Yoga which Krishna is saying? Bhakti Yoga equals Krishna consciousness in our own family life. Yes, it's not difficult. How do you do that? Oh, no, I don't have time for all this. It's a waste of time. No, it's not that way. Simple. Practice, not at the end of our life. Life itself is a preparation. We need to practice it every day. So otherwise, what happens? This is a test for us. This is an examination for us. If you don't do that, we'll be in a very, very difficult situation at the point of death. We will not be able to practice. Yuddha Kala Shastra Abhyasa won't work. We need to practice every day in order to be prepared for the last examination, which is leaving this body. So now, how do we act? One, we need to learn and understand that we are at this point a sick person. Then second, we need to approach the right hospital. Third, to take the medicines with the doctor prescription and to remove all negative things and thoughts which we have in our system and leave the doctor to treat us. This can only be the positive treatment which we are thinking of, right? Birth, death, old age, disease, the fact that we are sick. Now we need help. How do you take that help? Right approach is temple. And how do you go to the center of the place? Keep Krishna in the center. And what happens? By the practice of this, make your own house a temple. Then what happens? When you keep Krishna in the center of the house, your Supreme Lord becomes the doctor. Srila Prabhupada is the right doctor, right? You don't have to worry about it. How do you do this? A, B, C, D, association book, diet and chanting. Take Krishna Prasadam. So then with good positive association of devotees, we will avoid all the bad association. We don't need bad association. We need only good association. And we start reading books like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, many books. What happens? We will be able to understand the Supreme Lord through his messages in the book. And then we chant, all the time chanting the holy name of the Lord. It will help us, enable, connect us to the Supreme Lord automatically. And then making sure that we take also Krishna Prasadam. This is very important. Always offer. Krishna is saying, if you don't offer, you are readily eating sin. Simply offer the Lord. Automatically, as you offer, the Prasadam becomes your life elixir. Then automatically, our life will definitely change for the better. So please practice, and this is very important for us. Many other courses which you can think of, we will discuss this as we go. And that's where we end up with the 18th chapter. Sorry, I'm 5 minutes late, but somehow I really pushed up myself. I think there are many questions which will definitely come across, but do not hesitate. Just because this course gets over today doesn't mean that you don't have a chance to ask me any questions or you can't. You can always reach me. You can send me a message. You can send me a message. You can call me or you can email me and I will respond to it. That much I can promise you. But not all my life, as long as I am able to. So that's where it is. Over to Kusum before we take up the question and answers. Kusum, can you take up whatever you want to do?
Yes, just want to say thank you everyone for being with us in this 18 days of. So can anyone hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, thank you for being very tolerant with me. Luckily,
Yes.
you cannot even contemplate of eating some tomatoes and eggs. That you will probably have to do it on your screen, not on me, but it's okay.
Yeah, for being with us. I hope we have all learned something and we can take with us something forward. So I will be sharing a feedback. So it will be great if you can fill that us. So it will be a way for us to connect together in the spiritual journey. So if that's okay, it will take less than 5 minutes to do so. I will just share it with everyone. So please, if you can do that, that would be very helpful. Give me a second. Sorry, I just have the link. I just had it. and then we can take some questions. Okay, yeah, if everyone can do that. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Very well.
Kusum, are we filling the?
Yes, it will take less than 5 minutes. Yeah, can we just give 5 minutes, Prabhu? And if
Yes,
that's
yes,
okay.
yes. Let's do that
Yes.
now, because otherwise you
Yes.
don't have to do it again later on.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you can just take 5 minutes and you
Let's
just
fill
very
up all
quick.
these things today,
Yes.
because then it's all done. You don't
Yes.
have to worry about it. It's good because it's a good feedback input, whatever way, good, bad, ugly, that will help everyone.
Yes, and just a way for us to connect if you guys would like, because we have some other programs.
Yes, yes.
Yes, so please.
We'll give few minutes, no problem.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Which group are we in, Kusum?
We are in group 1.
Okay.
Group 1, yes.
Because I'm filling mine, that's why.
Oh, amazing, Prabhu.
What? This is group 1.
Yes, group 1, Penny.
I've done mine.
Thank you. Okay. Two more minutes more, if that's okay. Yeah, I'm sure everyone's done, but
Yes, Machi, 2 minutes.
thank you. Yes.
Barbara's asking for the link again. Yeah, we'll
Yes.
just send it again.
Yes, Mataji, I've just sent it again. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. 1 second. It's not. Yeah, Mataji, I just sent it now.
Thank you, Vishal Prabhu, for these 18 days. It's been incredibly enlightening. So we're very grateful for your time and association and insights.
Thank you. Thank you to all. You have been tolerating me. It's give and take. So no escape. You will have to do it and I'll have to do it too. So.
Prabhu, thank you for tolerating us.
Sorry, come again?
Thank you for tolerating us, Prabhu.
Oh, yes, especially you, Soleh, for sure.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Sahil Prabhu said thank you so much in the chat. I think Prabhu asked for this course when we met like 2 years ago. So
okay, good. So I hope he got some kind of inspiration to this.
I think Jess Prabhu has some questions.
Yes, yes, we will do that. I'm just waiting for everyone to complete.
Is everyone done? So we can just start taking some questions.
We'll just give it 1 more minute.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Okay, we will start, because if you don't complete it, then it becomes a temporary situation.
Yes, I don't want to chase you guys afterwards, so please do it.
Yeah, I see your point.
You will be like, oh, again her. So yeah.
So, but okay, I have filled in all these things. I just submitted mine. So when am I going to get the certificate?
After you have done all the quiz, so after you've done the quiz, then you will get the certificate.
Okay, so is it something like I can download it myself, or that you will send it to me?
I think you can download it. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So, but
As far
make
as I
sure that
know.
you get in touch with everyone. Huh?
Yes.
Like,
Just
whoever
one.
has attended.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
that's nice.
just one more thing, because I just got a message from one of the Matajis. She told me about that her name was different when she registered,
Sure.
and she wanted a different name on the certificate. So if you have that kind of request, you can personally message me, and I can
Yes.
sort that out for anyone who would like that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, any questions of that sort? That's very important.
Yes.
So don't hesitate to reach Kusum or Nitai Prabhu. So they are being very kind that they have given their time to make sure that everyone gets the best of the whatever you call best of best.
Glad to serve.
Okay, so if it's all done, then we can start the question and answer. But before that, I have something which I wanted to share. This is a question asked by a couple of people. So they wanted to know what kind of what is the practice we are into, whether we are a part of Hinduism, or we are a part of Sanatan Dharma, or we are a part of something else, or what is it that we are a part of ISKCON. Of course, ISKCON, what does it need? What is the idea behind the presentation? And what is it that you are as practitioner? This is a question which some of the people had asked me from not this batch alone, but from different batches. So the answer to this is that ISKCON is a presentational wise, they follow the Vedic systems, which is called the Sanatan Dharma. But as such, in terms of its presentation, in terms of their connection to the spiritual practice is concerned, it is very closely linked to Hinduism. But nevertheless, you cannot call it as a Hinduistic practice, because if you see the practice mentioned by Srila Prabhupada in the preface and in the introduction, we are non-sectarian in our practice. We don't belong to any sect in that manner. Even though the ritualistic practices are more closely connected with Hinduism. Like, for example, we are doing the incense sticks, we are doing the arti, we do the puja, we chant the holy names. All these are there. But still, we are not connected to one specific religion as such. That is why we are connected to Sanatana Dharma. So I hope this answers this very important subject. But when it comes to dealing or handling with governmental agencies, or dealing with some other aspects of progressive paths, in someone comes and asks you, let's say someone quizzes you and which part of the world you are in, what is your ethical practice, or what is your ethnicity and all that, I think you should honestly say you are a part of Hindu if you are a practitioner of Hinduism. Or if not, you are not a practitioner, you can say whatever it is, or you can say Christianity or whatever. Because we cannot restrict ourselves to be practicing only Hinduism. We have many friends of ours who are a genuine practitioner of Christianity, genuine practitioner of Muslims, as being a practicing Muslims. They also know Bhagavad Gita very well. In fact, last year, the first um, every year in India there is something called the Krishna Sloka test, which happens during Janmashtami, and the first rank student was actually as a Muslim practitioner. She was just 8 years old, and she could really brilliantly present the entire slokas. So she was very good. So in that manner, we are non-sectarian. We don't actually associate with ourselves with a specific religion as such. Because today you are a Hindu, tomorrow you might be a Christian, day after tomorrow you might be a Muslim, day after tomorrow you might be a Sikh, and it's vibing because of your bad notions from your mind. But whereas if you follow the spiritual practice, it's not related to one particular sect. It is connected to the eternity. Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So that is why we are in practice, we practice the Sanatana Dharma, but the ritualistic methods are closely associated with Hinduism. I hope this answers. I just thought I will share it out because maybe, I don't know if anyone has that kind of a question in our own group here, because this was asked me in some other group, but still I thought I will just share it with you. Is that okay, Pratamaya Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, thank you. Thanks for clarifying.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay. Let's come out with the question and answer if everyone is done. And if you have any questions, if you don't have any questions, I'm okay.
Okay, any questions, please raise your hand or unmute your device.
Oh, we have Saule, so yeah.
Prabhu, what does word Sanatana mean?
Eternity.
Eternity. Oh. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Sounds good. No questions means, yes, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Dev
one
Prabhu.
question which crosses my mind from time to time when we see Krishna say, "This is my opinion," it almost sounds like there could be other opinions, whereas Krishna's word is surely Krishna's word is the truth, and an opinion seems to sort of just make it less. I don't know, just have less impact. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I read your point, Prabhu. The reason why Krishna says this is my opinion is because he is a person. So he respects others also as a person. Even though Krishna can be understood in three levels, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Sabhyate, but Krishna is a person. So what he expects to say is that in his opinion, this is what it is.
All right. Yeah.
He wants to give a very equally balanced thought and process to the opinion when he presents it out. Otherwise, what happens is people start judging others. He doesn't want to be a judge. He is very neutral in that aspect. Even though he is partial to his devotees, but he is very neutral when it comes to presenting something. So that is why he's saying with a very humble attitude,
right.
well, this is my opinion.
Yeah, that
Right?
makes sense. Yeah, I see what you mean. Thank you.
Otherwise, naturally, what happens is people will say, "Oh, he is bossing, he is pushing me. I don't want to accept it. Why is he telling me that? He might be a god, but I am a free will. I can do what I want." Right? This is natural for all of us. Right? But whereas Krishna is not like that. What he wants is he has given us the free will, but in the same time, he is also ensuring that he gives his opinion so that if you are sane, not an insane, you would accept his words. Then the practice becomes easier. Otherwise, we are in peril because we know that we are going to make a mistake and we'll go to goof up. That's why we are very clear about what our thoughts are. Is that answering, Prabhu?
Yes, it is. That's very good. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Prabhu. All right. Okay. Let's go to the next question, if any.
I think Jess Prabhu had a question and accidentally he sent it to me.
Oh, Krishna. Okay.
So should I read it? Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to, no problem.
Jess Prabhu. What is
Jess
it?
Prabhu is not in the best of moods, I think, today.
He said,
sorry, I had a funeral yesterday, so
oh, that's a good news.
I feel quite depressed. Yeah.
No, you should feel happy. What is this? After Bhagavad Gita, you're feeling depressed. What funeral means it's a good news. The
it's not so easy to put into practice.
Yes. But you accept Krishna's words and Arjuna's words, right? What does Krishna say? It's good that you are relinquishing your body, but you're getting a fresh body, right?
I do feel the knowledge. Yeah, I do understand it, but I like when you're, I don't know, it's still depressing to feel like you're going to lose your loved ones and people around you are dying. It doesn't take away that pain.
Testing time, Prabhu. Keep it strong. Keep it strong. You will be all right. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, and also, I mean, sometimes I keep falling into sense gratification. I can't seem to help it. I mean,
don't worry, we are all in the same boat.
Try, but I keep
welcome to the club.
Stumbling.
Yeah, you're all in the same boat. Welcome to the club. It's nothing wrong what you're doing. Sense enjoy yourself, sense gratify yourself. No problem. Krishna is giving us many options.
But
more options.
But then my taste goes, and then I think, oh, am I strong enough to do this?
Yeah. See, it's like this, right? All our taste keeps going up and down. Sometimes you like ice cream, sometimes you like pizza. So taste comes in different flavors. So just jump and take it. Whatever feels your taste, keep it going. But Krishna consciousness taste, you should not, because param dishta nivartate. That's higher taste. So you need to acquire all the time having a higher taste. Why should you go for a lower taste? Higher taste is always best, right? So that's the key of success. You should be very conscious about it. Let me go to the higher taste. Why should I be?
I go up and down. Sometimes I really feel like I'm on the right path, and then sometimes I doubt it.
A doubting soul doesn't get happiness in this world or in the next. I'm not saying, Krishna is saying in the Gita, you can refer to it. But you are not a doubting soul. If you are in doubting, you would not be sitting for the 18 days. You are not a doubting. It is only a mind which is actually telling you to doubt. So don't feel bad about it. You are in a very positive frame of mind. You are a good practitioner. Continue to do it. If you have any doubt, don't worry. Just give me a call or give a call to Nitai Prabhu, and then we will sort you out.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm only being honest with how I feel. That's
fair enough. Fair enough. We understand us. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's go.
Basant Mataji's got her hand raised. Basant Mataji, would you like to ask you a question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Really appreciate this course you've done. I've gained a lot from it. I have a question. Why is it that there's a lot of emphasis on reading the 18th chapter when someone is on their deathbed or when they are dying or at the times of that sort of thing? Why is there a lot of emphasis on the 18th?
We never said 18th chapter. I said 2nd chapter, 8th chapter, 12th chapter.
No, but I find
who is telling you to chant the 18th chapter?
Just in our families and that there's been a lot of emphasis on funerals or when the person's dying to say I've got to read the 18th chapter.
Ignorance is bliss.
Okay.
So you choose what you want. You follow the practitioner who is telling you, or the people who tell it one time and then take some money and go off. It's your choice.
Okay.
I'm being strict.
It has been a very good course. I mean, the people are all very friendly and nice.
Yeah, that's very important. Otherwise, you will get a lot of brickbats even there. So you need to be careful about it. It's good. Yeah, nice people. Yes, definitely. Why nice? Because they want to get nice.
Yes.
Krishna is giving that option, no? So
the mode of goodness. We all want to be in the mode of goodness, right?
That's it. Keep that going. That's key. Okay.
Prabhu.
Yes.
I wanted to thank you so much for the course.
Sure.
Yeah, and we're looking forward for the next course. They was saying, I don't know, second Bhagavad Gita course. So
that's you need to contact Nitai.
We would love to.
He is the person who handles all these portfolios. I'm not sure. I may not be the instructor. Someone else may come in.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, great. So if everything is smooth and sweet and we are all done, we can stop here if it's okay with you all.
Group picture.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I was about to say that. Can we just take a group picture, please? This is the last one we will have. So please turn on your camera. Yes.
Am I pretty enough? Am I pretty enough?
Everyone is pretty enough. So can we all turn on our videos and
Tarun is in Karthik Prabhu is here.
Karthik Prabhu, yes. Madeline, Kruti, I think it's Priya Mataji.
Priya Mataji, Langton Prabhu. Yes. Madeline's video is not working. Madeline Mataji.
Okay, Mataji's not ready. So Prabhu, are you taking Prabhu?
Yeah. I can take, you can take, we can all take.
I think my teeth are my nicest
feature. Haribo, can we say?
Okay, right. 3, 2, 1, go Ranga! Go Ranga!
Go Ranga!
Okay.
It's all done?
Okay.
All done. Thank you so much,
Thank
everybody.
you all. Thank you very much. Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavad Gita ki jai. One request again, I'm not going to go each and everyone and ask you to complete this small exercise. I gave you 10.8, 9, 10, 11. So I want you all to by heart for the rest of your life. Make sure that whenever you are, wherever you are, remember these 4 verses. You are safely protected. I'm telling you, this is a safely protection. There are 2 verses. Practice this. You will be very much completed in your life. You don't have to worry at all. 15.15, please make note. 15.15,
9:22.
So they know.
How do
Some
we
people know
get
the answers.
9:10.
How do we get the certificate? Is it going to be posted?
It will come in plain, Prabhu. It is coming in plain.
Prabhu, you have to finish all of your quiz, and then at the end, after you have done that, we're gonna see the attendance and all. Then we will be posting it there.
Till you don't get your certificate, please chase them. They will get you.
I will
Yes,
chase
you
them,
chase
yeah.
us, we chase you, but yeah.
So 2
18
verses.
days of effort here.
Prabhu, 2 verses. Which one? 15, 15 and?
15, 15, 9, 20,
9, 10.
10, 10, 8, 10, 9, 10, 10, 10, 11. Look at your face, Sharavanam Prabhu.
9 what?
Okay, I will message you now here in the chat.
He'll message for everyone.
Actually, we will just write a note for everyone about which are the important words that Prabhu has mentioned, so everyone knows about it if they still don't know. And then we can read into it, and then we can practice it a little bit more further in advanced level. But yeah, Prabhu, that all will be for me. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna give Vishal Garanga Prabhu 3 big Harry bowls as a thank you for the course. So arms up and unmute on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hari Bol!
Hari Bol!
Garanga Prabhu ki jai!
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhava eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Nantikoti
We'll
Vaishnava
join
ki
together.
jai.
We'll once again
Srila
join.
Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hari Bol, everyone. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.